Today we're going to be rehoming and setting up an enclosure for my Grammostola Pulchra, or the Brazilian black. This little guy is probably somewhere around, I would say, the 2-inch mark, give or take. You'll probably be able to see him a little better once I take some video, but he's a decent size. I would call him a juvenile. I'm going to set up the enclosure since he is a terrestrial. He's going to have a nice piece of cork bark as a hide, a bit drier environment, using jungle mix and some coconut fiber and sphagnum moss, maybe a fake plant or two. We'll see. I just kind of got to play with it. But let's get started setting it up. So I'm going to put a couple inches of soil in there. This is a desert dweller, so this one will be mixed with coconut fiber and it's not even it's a sand, but it's not a sand. I think it's like a walnut shell. This one's plantation soil. I always buy the big bag of it uncompressed. I just don't care for the compressed brick. And then this one is Desert Blend, which is ground English walnut shells. I use this in place of sand. Seems to help kind of dry the environment out a bit more. So we'll mix that up. Kind of get some of that plantation soil to the top. Plantation soil does tend to hold moisture a bit better, but when you mix it with the dry coconut fiber and the Desert Blend, it does seem to work out pretty well that way. I think probably call that pretty good. That's about 2 inches of soil. So now we'll start placing our stuff. Try to bury this a little bit so if he wants to burrow, he has that option. And it's not going to fall on him. I say him, I really don't know if it's a female or a male, not yet. We got a little bit before we figure that out. And we'll just go right to some of the sphagnum moss. Now this one I did buy in the compressed brick this time around. And I don't know, I like the fluffy stuff that comes in the box a bit better. I think it lays out nicer. But we'll spread this around, break it up a little bit. Now it's not a big water dish, just a starter water dish. Then we will fill it and let it overflow just a little bit. See what we're working with here. So this would be from the front. Got a nice little hide, another piece of cork bark. The species isn't really known for webbing up a whole lot. Nice and simple. We got some room to burrow. Should be a happy little spider. So now let's get this little guy in there. So this species is supposed to be really docile. I have not handled this one really all that much. I'll try to get him in there and stress him out as little as possible, using a paintbrush just to lightly coax him in. Just like that. See the little guy? As you can see, he is pretty docile. He really doesn't seem to care too much about what's going on. I've been moving around the room with him in my hand. And perfectly content. Alright, let's get this little guy into his new home. Kind of not in the right spot of my hand to get him in. Alright, go that way. There you go. Keep going. No, you gotta keep going. No, you can't hang out of my hand forever. You gotta go in there. Go on. Go on. There you go, buddy. See? Now he's in there. I'm gonna miss a little bit of, a couple parts of the rest of the cage. Just a little bit of the glass, stuff like that, just in case I'm a little dehydrated. Because I usually, for whatever reason, after rehoming for me, they always seem to go into a pre-molt. Well, everybody, it's been great. Thanks for joining me on rehoming my Brazilian black, the Grammostola Pulchra, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.